Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone. And today I'm joined by a new face, but a bright face in the professional wrestling space, Karyn Best. You might have also seen her on season 2 of WWE LFG as Summer Sorrell. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, Ella. How are you?
I am so good to catch up with you, my friend, because you have such a unique background. You're a new, fresh face in the wrestling business. So I feel like people may not know all that much about you, other than what we've seen. So I kind of wanted to start from the beginning a little bit. Obviously you got into wrestling before that. You were in track and field in college. But if you think back to younger Karyn, like childhood Karyn, what did you envision yourself doing when you got older?
Oh my goodness. So I actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I did gymnastics for over 10 years. So I grew up in the gym. We were training 4 to 6 hours every single day, and it was very intense. And I was training at a high level. I competed at an elite level, and it was just, it's hard training. And I've been used to hard training since the age of like 4 years old.
Yeah.
So training intensely and at a professional level is nothing new to me. It's not foreign. Obviously, different sports come different challenges and rewards as well. But I was always thinking when I was younger that I was going to be an Olympic gymnast. That was my goal for years and years and years. So when I think of my childhood, I feel like it was just spent in the gymnastics gym.
So you must have started really young, I'm assuming. I only did gymnastics for 5 years. I can't imagine doing it for 10, my friend. That is definitely commitment. I assume that extended into your teens as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I think I quit when I was 14. I had a lot of mental blocks, and I could get into that some other time, but it was just a mental game. It becomes not only physically demanding, but mentally demanding as well. And I picked up track and field right when I ended up quitting gymnastics
Yeah.
and proceeded to do over 10 years of track and field after that.
So I will say, if once you do something, you're definitely committed to it for a while, it seems
Absolutely.
like.
Absolutely.
How was that transition for you? Gymnastics and track and field are obviously physically demanding, but in different ways. So how was that transition for you from gymnastics to track and field, not only physically, but mentally as well?
It was very different. I think a lot of the I didn't have to battle the mental blocks that I did in track and field that I did with gymnastics. So it was nice to just be able to focus on the physical challenge of things rather than the mental game because the mental game was so difficult in gymnastics. And in track, you can kind of just let go and you just have to run. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's not fun. I didn't love it. Like it was one of those things where I feel like I did gymnastics so long because I started off good at it, and like you said, I have that personality where it's like I'm not going to quit something. I held on to like I really couldn't hold on anymore, and I ended up kind of doing the same thing to track.
Yeah, you went to Cal State Fullerton and then transferred to Concordia University Irvine. What was your program or degree when you were in college?
So I got a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in human services.
I was
Yes.
a psych, I got a
I
degree in
love
psych
it.
as well.
I love that. And then what did I do? I spent a year getting a certificate, training as an MFT, so marriage and family counselor. I ended up deciding it was going to be really hard to battle that with working on top of that and doing track,
Yeah.
in a master's degree. So I ended up just getting a certificate, and then I got a master's in athletic administration. But I was kind of just finding an excuse to keep running track, to be honest with you. So I'm very fortunate. I was blessed with a full ride scholarship all of my 6 years of school. And that's just a testament to the Lord giving me that. I'm like, I don't know how I was good enough to receive that, but I am just so grateful to have such good, positive college experience.
Before wrestling came into your life, when you were like, think back to your grad school days, what was your initial vision like once you got out professionally?
That's the thing. Everyone would ask that. And I never had a specific, like, I for sure want to do this. Like, I'm going to be
Yeah.
this. Even when I was like studying or something to be something, I didn't even see myself doing it. It was weird. It was like I knew that God had a different plan for me, and I never worried about it either. It wasn't something that I stressed about. Like I just knew there was something. And I was like, what is it? Like I don't know what it is. I'm gonna keep thinking about it. I just never worried about it. Like I knew there was something. And it ended up being like the best thing ever. So
I just find it hilarious. I mean, I also have a bachelor's in psychology, doing nothing with it now. Instead, we're doing
yep.
this thing called professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So I don't even know this honestly. How did you end up in this crazy world for out of professional wrestling? You know, you're doing track and field, you're maybe contemplating what you want to do with your life, and I have to imagine wrestling might have come out of nowhere. What is your story for getting into pro wrestling?
All right, buckle up.
Okay,
This one, it's interesting. I have a unique story, and I'm grateful for that. So, my fiance is actually in the WWE as well. His stage name is Kale Dixon. He's an NXT.
right.
Yep. I started seeing him, and I didn't know anything about wrestling at the time. And I saw him. We met through social media on Instagram, and I just like I came to Florida. So I was living in California, still getting my master's at the time, and I would fly to
You
California
got a
or to
girl.
Florida every other week for like a year.
That's commitment.
Commitment. I'm crazy. I know. I don't care. It's worth it. But I fell in love with this world. Like I fell in love with like him too, but I really fell in love with just the whole WWE universe, the fan base, everything about it. I'm like, this is awesome. I remember sitting in my first wrestling show. It was an NXT taping, and I was just like, I I like kept picturing myself doing it. And I was like, no, 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 no. Don't go there. That's not happening. One, they wouldn't want me. Two, I probably couldn't cut a promo in front of people because I'm terrified. And three, there's just no chance. That's too big of a dream. Like, don't go there in your head because you'll get let down. And I kind of convinced myself of that for a long time. Like, no way. Like, just I made friends with so many people, main roster people, like amazing people that I now look up to. And it's crazy to think that I was just kind of started out as hanging around everyone, a friend, and now I'm like turned into a fan. And then I got the amazing opportunity to try out because somebody in corporate texted my fiance and they offered me a tryout. And I was like, yes, I'm doing that.
Was this a lot of them are at SummerSlam
Yes,
tryouts.
I
Yes,
was
so
SummerSlam. Mhm.
last year,
Yes, so
2024.
2 SummerSlams ago. Mhm.
Okay. Oh my goodness. You know, time flies so fast. You know, I'm so curious too. You have your body is probably like what is going on from going gymnastics to track and field to pro wrestling. So,
Oh
like,
yeah.
what were the major differences in like the training and conditioning that you discovered while you're training for wrestling?
Oh yeah. Training. So I was a 400 hurdler in track, and that's considered to be like the hardest event
Yeah.
in track and field. So physically, obviously that was a challenge always. Like there was always a physical challenge. And mentally too, hurdles can come their own challenges, but I would say that like wrestling training is definitely more physically demanding but infinitely more rewarding at the same time. So you're in track, you train all year and you just get like maybe you run one personal best time in a year and it's kind of just like, okay, I mean, if you're lucky. So I went so many years without even running a personal best time and getting like no reward. And it was just kind of I never really loved it. Like it was never like my passion, like something I loved. It was something I did and I was pretty good at. So I just kept doing it because I wasn't going to give up. But wrestling, I just fell in love with. There's something I can't even put into words. It's like a dance, but at the same time, like it's so rewarding. When something finally clicks in practice or you have a match and you get good feedback, it's like the biggest like adrenaline rush. And I think I've just wanted something like that I was passionate about my whole life, but I just never found it until I found wrestling.
You know, you mentioned your initial tryout. How was that experience for you? Obviously, you've seen Kale Dixon doing his thing. You've seen some of your friends that you mentioned, but if you recall, like, what was your first reaction to getting into the ring yourself and taking those first couple of steps?
Oh my goodness. It just felt like it felt so right. Like I felt like I belonged. I was like, this is like everything I've ever wanted. Like even just step, and that sounds cheesy, but I really mean that. Like walking into the ring, especially at the tryout, being inside of a ring for the first time in my life was like it's the coolest feeling. Like I couldn't even believe I was there. I wanted it so bad, but in my mind, I never let myself believe like, oh, I got this. Like I got this. Like I wasn't getting there. I was just like, I am so grateful to even be at a WWE tryout. Like I knew how big of a deal it was being around the business and how hard it is to get through a tryout. No matter how good you think you are, no matter what you think you've got going for you. They have a tryout of like 50 plus people sometimes, and they take a couple people. So it's like you never know what they're looking for or if you can impress them enough in the short time you have in front of them. So I knew it was like a long shot. And I came to the tryout and I see so many like beautiful girls, like athletic people with extensive athletic backgrounds. There's Olympians, there's everything. And I'm just like, who am I? Why, why am I here? Like, I know why I'm here, and I'm so grateful to be here. But how did I get here? Like, what is my life? And I kind of just, it's a 2 day tryout, and the first day of the
Yeah.
tryout, I was like, no way. Like, they will never, ever give this to me. I was kind of getting in my head a lot for like a good, like, first few hours of that first day. And I'll never forget it. Chelsea Green came up to me and she said, hi, first of all. Hi, you're beautiful. She was so nice. She's like, you're beautiful. You belong here. You're doing amazing. And that's all she had to say. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I actually do belong here. Maybe I am not doing horrible. And I had confidence the rest of the tryout. And I don't think I would be where I am today without that nice comment she made. So I'll never forget it. She probably doesn't even
Yeah.
remember it, but
Who else, I'm so curious, was a part of your tryout that you like worked with later with down the road and trained with?
and trained with. I mean, in the training center, the NXT
Yeah.
people were like Lash Legend, Hank and Tank were there, Kalani Jordan was there, main roster people. I think they had Bianca. It's kind of all a blur at the same time.
Yeah.
You're so stressed. Grayson Waller, who's someone I look up to a lot, and I know my fiance looks up to him a lot too. He's such a great leader in NXT and now beyond. And yeah, Chelsea was there too. I can't remember anyone else. There was definitely more people there, but maybe Damian Priest might have been there. I'm not, yeah, just a bunch of like random people pop in and out. Maybe Jay Uso. It's just like, it was just a blur at the same time because I was just so overwhelmed.
This is Cleveland,
Yes,
or was,
Cleveland,
oh
Ohio.
yeah, I was there that weekend in Cleveland. I did
Cool.
not go to the tryout, but I was at SummerSlam weekend. So it's kind of cool connection there. You know, you mentioned you were not a fan of it growing up, but I'm sure as you went into the PC, they give you tape material and study material. Who were some wrestlers that you found yourself particularly studying or captivated by as you're getting familiar with this industry?
I think when I think of not I don't want to say older wrestling, but less current times of
Yeah.
wrestling, I really liked Melina's style. I loved her athleticism and my gymnastics background. I felt like fit really well. So I watched a lot of her incorporating the splits and just more of an athletic, like a little bit flippy, but not in like the lucha realm of wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, I really, I really liked that. I think that was like a great way to incorporate my unique spin on certain moves that were more common. And I had so much that I was doing in like extra rings and trainings, and even like written down watching films that I couldn't wait to try and do in a match. But I unfortunately just never got there. I never got that opportunity to get there because of my injury. So it was just so frustrating watching people like Melina knowing like, oh, I could do that and make it my own by doing this and just having all these ideas and I have so much more. But I know I'm gonna be able to show it someday, so I'm excited for that. And Michelle McCool as well, of course. Love her. I've always loved her. She was someone character-wise that I wanted to be like for so long before LFG even came about. So that was really cool. Of course, I watched my fiance so much, so
Yeah.
I definitely take a lot of inspiration from him. But people in the PC that are not main roster known, but are so, I don't want to say underratedly good, but just so amazing are Tatum Paxley, Roxanne Perez, and the up-and-comer Kendall Gray is
She's
amazing in
insane
her
for
ring.
only like 2, 3 years in.
Years. I think she's been in there for
Crazy.
less than 3. It's like 2 years. I'm
Yeah.
like, how are you? My first match that was technically TV, I don't know if it ever aired, was with her. And she was like
Yeah.
a year in. And she's leading me, who's been there for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, she was incredible. She's just so powerful and strong. Yeah, she's a great person too. I don't have enough great things to say about her.
Melina, too, you mentioned her. She could be like very high flying and like fast, but also she is so intense. Like her, you probably know this story because Michelle's told it a bunch of times, but her and
Yeah.
Melina getting in trouble for having a match that was too good. Um,
Yes, the punches.
yeah.
They go back through the curtain and they get told they have to go out and redo it, I believe, because their punches will look better than the guys. And that, if you know Michelle McCool, that is the most Michelle McCool thing to happen to her. ever.
It
That's like,
happened to her twice with
of
Victoria too as well. They were like, "You
course
guys
it
are
did.
too good."
She was too good. No, and I totally believe it too. She was ahead of her time. She's what I love to say about her is we know she was a great wrestler. She was
Yeah.
strong. She is an even better person. She is awesome. Her and her husband are just amazing people. I got to work closely with both of them so much, and I'm just so grateful for that because outside of the ring, when the cameras aren't rolling, they are even more amazing. They are such genuine, kind people, great parents. It's great to see people who are just like such good, strong people of faith around the wrestling business, and it's so impactful.
Yeah, you mentioned they were, they are a couple, but they were going head to head in LFG. You were under Michelle McCool. What were some things specifically that you learned from her that have really stuck with you?
Michelle's one of the most genuine coaches I've probably worked with in my 20 plus years of being an athlete. She might be the most genuine for sure. She's so humble and so kind. And I think one of the main things that I learned from her is that like confidence can be so quiet too. And I think that's something I want to carry with myself, not necessarily in my character. I want to be similar to her, but in myself outside of the ring and even inside of the ring too, a little bit, because I just don't think you need to always be over promoting yourself. I think
Yeah.
my confidence, my ability is going to speak for itself, and I don't need to overexert myself to the point where it's too much. I don't need to get there. I know what I have to offer, and I'm very confident in that. And Michelle McCool taught me that you don't need to, confidence is quiet.
Yeah, your journey has been a lot of ups and downs, it
Oh,
seems.
yeah.
You made it onto LFG, you got signed, but then somewhere along the way, you sustained an injury while training at the PC. So I was curious
Mhm.
if there was any update on how you're doing and the recovery from it. I don't know what the injury was, but how are you doing?
I'm doing better. I have been so not injury prone my entire athletic career. I never had a major injury in gymnastics. Crazy. Track and field, the only thing I ever struggled with was my back. And I knew that was going to be a challenge coming into wrestling. And that was a big reason where I thought I could never do it as well. I knew it was something that was going to hold me back if let me do it at all. And that was really hard coming into it and developing such a love for it and knowing that it's eventually going to be a problem. My first 6 months at the PC, I never had a problem with it. Um, but then after that, it was just in and out of the ring, in and out. And it was just,
You're back?
yes, my back.
Yeah,
So I have two bulge discs, and it's one of those things where it's like like I've gotten injections. I've gotten like 3 or 4 separate injections during just the last six
yeah.
months at the PC. We're kind of throwing the book at it, and it was just not improving. And when you have an injury like that and it's not improving, you're just kind of in the ring, you're out of the ring a week later, and it's just with the same thing. It's not a good look. It's the reality of it, and I don't blame them, to be honest with you. But it's also I know why I was released. And I understand why I was released, and I understand that this is a business, and I agree with that, to be honest with you. I do wish I was able to stay longer, of course, because I have so much left to offer, and I have no doubt in my mind that I have at every other aspect of this, I'm going to be able to perfect and be amazing at. I really believe that. And I think the door is wide open for me to come back someday or to be with another company or any opportunity I have in this because I know my reasons for being released were not because my promos sucked. I got great feedback from promos and I got so much better too. And my in-ring continued to get better every single time I was in the ring. And I got amazing feedback from my coaches and people higher up in the business. So in that sense, I was a little surprised, but at the same time, like I understand when you're hurt. Like this is a business and I understand it. But I am doing better and I'm just taking a lot of time right now to really heal because I think that's something I didn't get to do at the PC. You're training 5 days a week. You have two extra rings in that. You have matches throughout the week for filming for the show. We have could have multiple matches in the show. It's a lot. It's a lot in your body. So I'm gonna take my own time. I'm gonna be on a training schedule, keep rehabbing, and I'm hoping to be back as soon as possible, but I'm not rushing it at the same time. I will be back.
No,
I will be
especially
back.
with like an injury, like a back injury, my friend. Yeah, there's a lot of nerves there and it's connected to a lot of things.
Yes, they take it very seriously too, which I respect.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I'm like, it's so frustrating. I wish I could just like I get surgery. I don't qualify for surgery, unfortunately, but if I wish I could just like
Interesting.
just I don't know, do something to it to make it better. But I think it's just I'm gonna have to find the right people, the right help just to get it in the right spot to where I can manage it throughout the rest of my career.
So you think it was because, and again, you feel free to clarify, that it was the back injury that ultimately led to your departure?
Absolutely, in one way or another. Absolutely. The last 6 months I was there, like I said, I was in and out of the ring.
Yeah.
So I also didn't get to show anything I was learning for a whole 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those injuries where it's like, oh, okay, you're out for 8 months. My fiance has suffered a few injuries and he had surgery and he knows his cleared date and he's going to be good by that time and he's going to be back in it. Mine was, I would get kind of better and then worse and then kind of better and worse. And it was unpredictable and not improving at the time with
Got
the
it.
training schedule I was on. I have all the confidence in the world that it will improve and be manageable with my own training schedule. But what we had to do in the PC, it was not getting better. And that was just the reality of it. And as frustrating as that was for me, I understand.
Yeah, we only got to see a snippet of what you had. I enjoyed especially your entrance. You feel like you incorporated some of your gymnastic stuff, like even like
Yeah.
tumbling into the ring. You had really cute ring gear. I feel like it was the start of something that could have been really cool. And like you said, you got a whole career ahead of you. As you're developing this character, though, you mentioned Michelle McCool was obviously a mentor for you, The Undertaker, Kale Dixon. Who were some of your other mentors or people that you looked up to, whether it was in the PC or NXT or in the main roster?
People I look up, I think, like I said before, a few of the main ones were like Tatum Paxley.
Yeah.
Even when I first got there, we have these in-house shows, and I had my first in-house show with her. And it was like the first match, and you're so scared, and it's like, it's just in front of all your friends,
Mhm.
but that's just as terrifying. I mean, Shawn Michaels and Matt Bloom are still watching you, and you're just so scared. I was there for like however many weeks at the time, and
Yeah.
she was so kind. She's so amazing to work with, and I'm so green at the time. So she was just so nice. I mean, she very easily could have been somebody that's like been there for a long time, like I don't want to be doing this, but she was so helpful and so nice. I really looked up to her. Like I said, Kendall Gray too is I know she's very green as well, but I look up to her a lot. The way she carries herself and her poise is something else. So I definitely really look up to her. I always looked up to Roxanne too. Chelsea Green, of course. Again, I've really just from the start
It's
always
great.
looked up to her.
Hmm.
She's amazing. I think those are just the main ones. In terms of guys, some of the leaders in the locker room, like Ethan Page, carry themselves so amazing everywhere they go. And they're not only so talented, they really carry themselves well. And I really look up to that.
I will say I am gonna miss your TikTok series where you would go around the PC and ask quiz
So I have like
questions.
3 or 4 more of those in my drafts. I gotta edit them. So yeah, follow me on Instagram,
I
summer
need
underscore.
those.
You'll find me, Karyn Best. Just look me up. I will.
I would love like who would you not want your son or daughter to date? Like those were so much fun. The
And
answers
you
and
know
these
they're
guys
starting fights.
ragging on each other. Though I enjoyed those. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the ones that you
Yeah,
have saved to come out.
I
Uh,
have at least like 2 or 3 more. Yeah, I gotta, we have a surprise entrance from, I'm not gonna say his name,
okay.
but yeah, I think you know who
Well,
I mean.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's got some opinions for sure to share. So I'm gonna edit those and put them all up at some point.
Good. I'm looking forward to that. I will say, we mentioned ring gear was a big part of it. Yours was obviously bright and pink, like your personality. I know it's probably early on, so maybe you're not thinking as deep into that as other aspects, but what were some of your go-to sources of inspiration when you're thinking about ring gear?
Oh no, I was.
Okay, cool.
I loved it. Oh my goodness, at the most unfortunate. I think I only showed you guys one gear pretty much the entire time because
Yeah.
we were filming that was so long ago now. It was so new. Oh my goodness. And I have like 4 more sets of gear that are amazing. That gear was made in like a week by a friend because I needed
Mhm.
something one of the first weeks
Yeah.
I was there. And he doesn't even like know how to sew, I swear. He like was put it together and it was horrible. And I had to wear it on
Hmm.
television, which is insane. But I have some amazing gear. I take inspiration kind of from like Victoria's Secret Angels, like the runway show. I love, I mean, a little more covered, but
Yeah.
I love the colors and the bright, just it kind of shows my personality, but I also kind of want it to be like really in your face, kind of like towards a little obnoxious. So yeah, I have even more, but I have more gear on the way. We got a lot of gear, so plenty of different looks to come, that's for sure.
Well, it seems that you are staying on the professional wrestling track. Would that be safe to say in your free agency?
Absolutely. Yes, 100% without a doubt. Mhm.
So I know you were teasing that you have some things coming up. But if is there anything you can tell us about your potential next steps in wrestling and even beyond that scope?
Ugh, honestly, I right now I am taking time to recover. I really need
Absolutely.
to make sure once I'm back, I want to be back. I want to be back
Hmm.
and make such an impact and I need to be patient. And that is so hard. Like I can't even tell you how hard that is. Watching training towards the end of my time at the PC was so difficult to sit there and watch because I love it. I
Yeah.
want to be in the ring. I want to be sweating and getting punched in the face. Like I want all of that. I'm so excited to be back. But I know I can't get ahead of myself. And I'm going to take a lot of time and make sure I'm really ready. And then I want to take some time, a little more time in training too, before I jump back into matches. But I'm jumping into some signings. So if there's any
Yes.
signings around, book me. I'd love to meet all the fans. I love to meet the WWE universe. It's just such, and wrestling fans in general are just so passionate about what they love. And I'm so jealous that they got to grow up watching this. I just didn't know. And if I knew, I would have been a lifelong fan too, but I just didn't know. And I'm just so jealous. Like, I wish that I grew up watching wrestling since I was like 6 years old, but I'm just so grateful that I get to be a fan now. So I want to meet all of them, bond over who we love, and just, I don't know. It's just,
I
I'm
feel like you
a
would have
fan of
fit so well in that Divas era with like a Melina. It's like a Chelsea Green scenario. Like you guys could have fit,
that.
I feel like, in the Divas area with like those Melinas, those Michelles, those Trishas, those Mickeys. I feel
Mhm.
like you
I
got
would have
that
loved
energy
it.
and the look for
Uh-huh.
sure. So in the meantime, you're on the sidelines, but I know you have a couple of signings and convention appearances coming up,
Mhm.
so they can still say hello to you. But in the meantime, definitely focus on your recovery. That is first and foremost, my friend.
Yeah.
I have to say though, in your free agency, I'm sure you're thinking about the future. Who are some of your dream opponents or matches from the landscape that you're maybe eyeing?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say I have a few pretty good ones. I would love to do a Michelle McCool out of retirement match, but we're just wearing Uggs. Both of us are wearing Uggs. She
She
loves to,
has wrestled in them before.
yes, she has the
I was
most
there
iconic
at
thing.
San
The most
Antonio.
iconic
Yeah.
thing ever in wrestling was her wrestling in Uggs. I
Yeah.
love Uggs.
That's hilarious.
There's some Uggs right here. I have like
Yeah.
a million pairs of Uggs. I
I'm
love
sure
them.
you bonded over Uggs with her.
We did. We bonded over so many random things that you would never probably even care about. But like, we had so much in common. She'd say something, I'm like, me too. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like, we were so similar. It was so cool. Adore her. I think my other one for matches would be I'm obsessed with Chelsea Green. We know that. So I would just say Chelsea Green with Ethan Page, and then I'm with my fiance. That's like my dream match. The wrestling would be amazing once I get better. And it would be so great. And them over as baby faces too. And then if Kale and I were the heels, that's my dream match for
That would
sure.
have to be a little bit of a change. I feel like yeah, Chelsea's technically healed, but she's like so good, and we know she's entertaining that yeah,
Mhm. Hard not to love
I
it.
cheer her regardless, like no
Yeah,
matter what.
I do too.
Um,
I'm supposed to, but
they are the AAA mixed tag team champions,
Mhm.
so I feel like that's a match that's gotta happen now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm just putting it out there. You never know. I'm down. So,
Two more questions for you. 2026 is right around the corner. Recovery is probably at the foremost, but what are some of your other personal and professional goals for the new year coming up?
oh, my goals. I feel like my main goal would obviously just to be healthy, but other than that, I
Yes.
think my professional goal is to eventually long term get signed with a company. I want to be wrestling consistently. And I'm very excited to jump into the indie scene. I know it's something that can be very daunting coming from only training at the PC, but at the same time, I'm very excited to see that side of wrestling. I love wrestling so much. I don't just love the WWE. I love wrestling. And I've been to a few indie shows. Like these are so much fun. Like I've also heard the horror stories. I know it can be so difficult, but I'm kind of excited to brace the challenging. I mean, it's all a story. And I'm gonna be able to tell a crazy story to my kids someday. So I'm ready to like jump in with both my feet and just take it all on. I think that's what I'm just looking forward to most professionally.
Yeah, Lay Laurel Gintala was the same as you, came in with no wrestling background, was and at the LFG experience now. She's done a few indies.
Yeah.
So it's possible we're seeing some of the batch of the kind of departed already back in the swing of things. So obviously 2025 not really in the cards, but 2026 new chapter right
Yes.
there. Uh
2026, a little bit into 2026, I think the door
yeah.
is gonna be wide open and I am just ready to just go head first into it. And
Mm.
I can't wait, honestly. I'm really excited.
Yeah, that is a few weeks away, but as of right now, it is the season of Thanksgiving. So I wanted to close out. Tell me three things that you are thankful for in your life right now.
Three things. Okay. I gotta say my fiance, I'm so grateful. Oh, he's the best. I love him so much. He's just the sweetest, kindest person, despite what you see on TV sometimes. He's just absolutely amazing. I am so grateful. I can't wait to marry him. We're getting married in February, so real just a few months away, and that's just kind of what I'm focusing on too. I'm planning a wedding, so that's just something really happy that I get to do, and kind of what could be more of a sad time, you know. So.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that. I am grateful for my cats.
I
They're right
saw
over
her
there.
poking around.
You see her?
So I'm poking around. I
Can I
have
show you
cats
one of them?
myself. Yeah,
I'll show you.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
he knows right away. He jumped away. I'll grab the other one, but she's gonna squirm a little
I
bit
have
more.
two cats myself, so I'm a fur mom as well. Oh
Say
my
hi,
God, you're
Tinsley.
adorable.
She hates it. She's like, no.
What is her name?
This is Tinsley.
Hi, Tinsley. Oh, she's like, no, mom.
She's like, no, mom. They
I'm
want to
not
be right
ready for
by
my
you, just
close
not on
up.
camera. No, literally, she's not camera ready. She needs her makeup done and brushed and everything.
It's adorable.
Oh, one more thing. I think I am just so grateful for the love I've developed for the sport. I think it really f filled a hole that was like kind of just in my life, and
Mhm.
I'm of course so sad to lose something so big, but I'm so grateful to have done it and to just experience the rest of this wrestling crazy world and to kind of have that in my belt to say that I've already done that. It doesn't need to be like the end all be all to get back there. There's so many opportunities in wrestling, and I'm really grateful to be able to have a lot of them.
I do actually have one more question because I'm curious. And you are beginning a new chapter in under one banner. You were Summer Sorrell. Obviously, you're back to being Karyn Best. Are you gonna continue this Karyn Best name, or are you thinking of new ring names?
I honestly, I loved the name Summer. It was just such
Fits
a part of
you.
it. I think it fits me, and I think it can go either way too, being
Yeah,
baby or heel. And I think I really loved it. So I'm not quite sure legally how it all works,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I probably should try to figure that out. But I'm gonna try to keep Summer in one way or another. So I think I'm always gonna be Summer in some part of me. So I really want to keep that, and however that works, changing spellings and stuff. But you can always call me Summer. I just loved it, and it was one of my top picks that I got to get. So I was really happy about that.
I feel like it's fitting because you would bounce between Florida and California, some of the
Mhm.
shiniest,
Yeah.
sunniest states out there. So I feel like it's full circle. But in
Mhm.
the meantime, please let the listeners know where they can find you online and support you, where they can find you coming up.
Yes. TikTok. I make a ton of TikToks, like you
She
said.
does.
I think my username is Karyn_best. So you can
And that's
find me
Karen with
there.
a Y.
Yes, Karyn with a Y. I'm a cool Karen. I'm not like a Karen, you know what I mean?
Thank God.
So I won't ask to speak to your manager. Don't worry. I think that's in my bio.
Chelsea Green might, though.
But Chelsea Green might. So we love the promo coach. He really wanted to he loved that direction, but he's like, Chelsea Green does it. We can't do it. I'm like, it would be perfect. But then for Instagram, I think I'm gonna have to change my username soon. But right now it's Summer__underscore WWV. So that might change. But if you search Summer, hopefully I come up or Karyn Best, it should come up.
Yeah. Well, Summer, Karen, thank you so much for joining me here
Of
today. It's been an
course.
absolute pleasure.
No, thank you. It was so much fun talking with you.